Well, hello. Welcome to Connections, a broadcast of the Clarkston UMC Methodist Church. My name is Rick Dake, and I'm the senior pastor of this congregation, and it is my great privilege to be with you for a few moments today. My wife Laura and I moved here back in 2004 to this great community, and we've been blessed to be a part of it for these 12 years. And in those 12 years, I have grown to have a very deep and great appreciation for what it means to be living within the community of Clarkston, not only the village, but the entire network of neighborhoods and communities that come together to make Clarkston what it is today. The connection to Clarkston is one that may make sense, that I would appreciate when you understand that I serve a church that has been intimately connected with the Clarkston community since Clarkston's very beginning. In 1841, the Clarkston Methodist Church was founded, and over the past 175 years, the Clarkston UMC Methodist Church and Clarkston itself have in essence grown up with each other. We have figured things out together. We have struggled over many issues together over those years. We've seen tons of victories and served all generations of people in these past 175 years. The close connection that you build with a community with that kind of long-term history builds a relationship that can't be duplicated any other way. It allows us to understand that our groundedness and that our primary focus of ministry and service is to the community and to the people in the community in which we serve. This year, as we celebrate our 175th anniversary, we've been taking a look back at some of those moments in our history. And I want to extend an invitation to you to join with us on October 9th. On that Sunday at the 9 and 11 o'clock services and in activities between and after services, we're going to be spending some time remembering and reflecting and just having a lot of fun telling the stories and remembering where the church has been and where it has gotten to today. We'll remember how they built the first wooden structures there on the corner of Church and Buffalo, and how a couple of them burned down over the years until finally the brick building that stands there today became our church until 1960, where we moved to our present site. As we celebrate that history, we believe that it gives us a firm foundation and a grounding to know what our identity is. There's something quite precious about those kinds of anniversaries, and we hope that you'll be able to be a part of us on that great day. But we also know knowing your history can become a trap for some people. It can lead folks to want to continue to go back to the past, to think about the glory days as they once were, to continue to talk about things that no longer are in the memory of the people in the area or community in which they serve. Well, we believe that our history, instead of becoming a trap, gives us a foundation to launch from. We think about the generations that have been served over the many years in this community, and it makes us driven to want to serve the generations to come for the next 50 to 100 years and beyond. Faith communities have to make an intentional decision to be outward focused, because our natural inclination, like all organizations, is to be inward focused, to take care of our own people, to follow our own traditions, and to protect them even at the cost of excluding others. But we're pretty clear that the community of faith that Jesus Christ calls is exactly the opposite. We have to be outward focused first. Jesus sent his disciples out into the world to find community, not to create an inward community that they hope a few people would drop by every once in a while. And so as a result, we find ourselves focused heavily on being engaged in the community and in the communities around southeastern Michigan and beyond, because we believe we're called to go out and build relationships and to establish the kinds of communities of faith both within the congregation, within homes, within the friendships we make that enrich and bless the world around us. It has been a joy being engaged in the ministry that we share at Clarkston UMC Methodist Church. As we consider what we do every given year, we not only look to try to make sure that we're doing things that nurture the family of faith that is already a part of our community, but continue to create portals of entry and places where we can launch from to go and serve others. We believe that communities are best created when they are created by the belief of grace. Now, grace says that when you create a community, you do not do so with an expectation you need to get other people to conform to a preconceived notion of what they should be or could be. Rather, grace calls us to relate to each other with respect, with dignity, with the integrity that says we are equals together in this journey of life and in the journey of faith. And while I may have a story to tell about my faith experience, I eagerly want to hear your faith experience. I want to hear what you know, what you've come to understand about God and your walk of faith, the challenges you've had, like the challenges I've had, and the blessings that we both received. When you share those kinds of stories, a new community is created. Every time we get a chance to share those stories, the church is enriched and the community broadens. And so we continue to try to create spaces where we're able to reach out to folks who are not already within the community. I want to give you some quick examples of some of the things that allow us to try to do that. Over the last couple of years, our church has launched a program called Getting Ahead. We, like so many other congregations in the community that we're proud to share in with this broader ministry, have a ministry of helping to assist people with needs that they may face, like shut-offs to utilities or eviction notices or other kinds of challenges of financial nature that they may face. And while we have limited funds, we try to do the best we can to try to help people in that way. But we also wanted to go beyond just helping people in that way. We want to enter into a holy relationship and see if there's something we can do together to help folks to not only be sustainable, but to get ahead. And so, for example, the Getting Ahead program has been an intentional effort on our part following the curriculum of Getting Ahead, where we bring families together for 16 weeks. And there, it's not about one teaching the other, but about all sharing with each other the resources, the struggles, the challenges of what it is to be poor in the community that we live in the country that we live in. And as we continue to resource each other, we begin to find the fact that we can move ahead together easier than we can just struggling on our own. And in those Getting Ahead programs that we've been offering in the life of the community, we've seen our opportunity to expand as friends, as co-worshipers, with folks otherwise that previously we were simply giving some financial assistance to. To be able to open up those kinds of conversations is holy work and the kind of work that we celebrate and are proud to be a part of. Sometimes ministry takes some funny expression, and in ways that people go, is that really a ministry? One of the secret passions of mine, actually it's not too secret if you know me, is that I'm an addicted fly fisherman. I love to fly fish. And I do believe you can worship God in the out of doors. Do it often on the Osable River or Pierre Marquette and other places in our state. Hal Weemoff, pastor on our staff, and myself have started a fly fishing ministry. We get together once a month in the non-summer months. And we get in those gatherings, we have both experienced fly fisher people. We also have folks who've never held a fly rod in their hand before, but have thought, I want to try that. I want to see what that's about. We get together. And in those fly fishing ministries, we just have storytelling. We learn about fly fishing, and we're also, yes, building relationships. We do things to help serve the community even through fly fishing. On September 24th at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be down at Depot Park as part of the Clinton River cleanup. You can come join us and be part of that, and then come to one of our fly fishing gatherings. And then one day, perhaps we'll be on the river with each other. All of that's intended to build relationship. All of that's intended to expand a community and to help a community claim its identity. One of the other programs we're starting this fall that I'm very excited about and so proud to announce is the SNAPS ministry, Special Needs and Parental Support Ministry. In my own personal family, I was raised with a brother with special needs, and I know both the blessing of special needs children, but I also know the stress and strain of what it is to be able to always meet their needs, to be able to find respite, to find support, to find camaraderie in the good hard work that it is to nurture and care for our special needs children. And because we live in a community which, because of the SCAMP program, services well special needs, we've also discovered that we want to help meet a need where folks can come gather together to have support, conversation, and yes, perhaps even worship services that are geared specifically to make it comfortable for families with special needs children to come to, knowing that the service itself is very accepting of what our special needs kids might present, or that families can worship with us where they know their special needs children are being properly taken care of in another well-designed space for them in the facility. Well, we're starting this fall, the SNAPS ministry. And I want to invite you if you know folks who have special needs children, to invite them to come to our program. We're having a guest speaker come later in September, and then starting a support program in October. All of that information can be found on clarkstonumc.org. And I'm going to invite you to come and be a part of that and to support the families with special needs. It will be a true blessing for them and, again, for the larger community. We believe in partnering in mission. We don't think we have to do it all by ourselves. And so oftentimes we go into other communities and do service ministry, like the mission we have done for several years in Pontiac, where we go down and partner with Hope Warming Center near Baldwin, on Baldwin Avenue on the north side of Pontiac. And when we work there, we're working not only with the residents of Hope Warming Center, but also partnered with organizations like Lowe's, who's become a great partner to us, to go take about 100 people and money to go down and resource and strengthen that ministry in Pontiac. Again, trying to expand the opportunity for people to find safe spaces to have their faith walk and to raise their families and to move forward in their life. These are the kinds of things we value at Clarkston United Methodist Church, which is also why we're not only looking to our past, we're looking to the future. And so this fall, we will be breaking ground on brand new facility that we're building right there on our existing property at 6600 Walden Road. This existing space will be 70% completely renovated on the interior and have 18,000 square foot of new space added to it around. The two spaces added around that may be of most interest to you is, first of all, the community center, so aptly named because we want it to be an extension to the community. It's going to be a large group space. Think middle school gym that can do things like host parties, have large speaking events, and oh yes, play basketball, play volleyball, do dodgeball, and other kinds of activities for the church and for the community as we come together in that new space. We're also on the front side of the church extending our entryway as a way symbolically and practically creating new space for people to enter into the building, where there'll be hospitality more easily received, and where there'll be new program space of a very different flavor for us to be able to offer. Both of those spaces are intended to help us continue the ministry of connecting to the community, and in grace, connecting the gospel of Jesus Christ to all we encounter. In Acts 2, they talk about after the Holy Spirit came, the believers gathered together and shared everything they had in common. Well, we believe we're called to share everything we have in common with everyone in this great community that we serve. And this is my invitation to you to come and be a part of that ministry. Find your place in it and help us find places that we haven't even discovered yet where we can serve you and serve others. This community has always found its best moments when we have not focused on our own needs, but found in serving others that our lives are blessed more than we could ever imagine. We want that to not only be the legacy of our ministry, but the future of it. And so I invite you to be a part of it with us, and I look forward to being with you for the next 12 years or more, but even more for this congregation and this community shared together over the next 175 years, making great connection and continuing to be the community of faith that God has always called us to be. Thanks a lot for listening. Look forward to seeing you down the road.